Thank you, Phyllis. That was beautiful. Now, y'all know what time it is, so come on and stand up and join me for our morning chant. Again, why are we doing this? Because we are proclaiming at the very beginning of our service what type of people we are and what type of space this is. And we are people that wake up in the morning with our minds set on the divine, set on spirit, living, moving, and having our being from a higher consciousness, from alignment with our purity, our purpose, and our power. And so get ready. Now, let's just, Mary Ellen, can you come over here for a minute?
Me?
Mm-hmm. All right, so Mary Ellen, lead us in some kind of interplay thing where we can shake off all the blah, blah, blah so we can get started.
All right, shake out an arm. Shake out your other arm. Shake out one of your legs. Don't fall over.
Correct.
Shake out your other leg.
There you go.
Shake out what you've just been sitting on.
Shake your money maker. Shake your money maker.
All right, I think we're ready.
All right, Phyllis, hit it. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind. Stay on spirit, walking and talking with my mind. Stay on spirit, walking and talking with my mind. Stay on spirit, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Singing and praying with my mind. Stay on spirit. Singing and praying with my mind, stayed on spirit. Singing and praying with my mind, stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stay on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stay on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Good morning, everybody. I am your service leader for the very first time. My name is Emily Jalkanen. Hi. This is my helper, Nora, my daughter. We want to say good morning to those of you who are able to be with us today here in the building, and to those of you online, you are just as important members of our community. We are praying for you, we are thinking about you, and we're so glad that you're able to join us here live now or later when your day permits. So we've got a blue form. If you're new to us, could you take a minute during the service to just let us know how we're doing? Feedback is crucial for growth, and you bring a perspective that is so needed as we want to grow our community. How are we doing? Did you feel welcomed? Did you know where to go? Did you get a cup of coffee before you sat down? So fill this out. It's going to go in the blue bag that comes around later in service. We also have a special pink one. You do not have to be a member to put something special that you need prayer for on this form. You don't even need to put your name. But folks here and folks abroad in the greater Unity community will take this prayer request and send love and energy to what you need. So don't be shy. Fill out what you need for yourself or someone else you know. Lastly, we have this paper, or you can look online for Instagram or Facebook or our Unity website so that you know what sort of community events. So if maybe you aren't able to come on Sunday, maybe you could come to one of these. Or maybe you want to come to all of the things. So you're welcome to do those. These are available right outside the doors to the sanctuary, or it's available online. All right, here you go, Marty. Good job. You did excellent. Okay, I did that. Okay, today we have a special discussion with A Course of Miracles right after service here in the chapel. The second reminder is we have a food drive that's going on for the next couple weeks. There are tubs right back there by the tech booth for the Girl Scouts. They're collecting food. Baby items are also a suggested item. Any sort of diapering, wipes, formula, because we have lots of families in need given the current political decisions of those in power that need that service right now. Crystal Oray and Kathy Haggerty are holding a special gratitude yoga this coming Saturday, the 22nd. That will be from 9 a.m. to 10:30, and there's an extra special focus on gratitude during this practice. We also don't want to forget that Reverend Manasseh offers an inspirational phone call each morning, Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. If you need the phone number, it says 8:30. You said it's 8.
That would be me, sorry.
That's okay. We all make mistakes. We're going to grow from this. At 8 a.m., there is an inspirational phone call. If you're not able to make it at 8 a.m., let us know. There are ways for you to listen to it as a recording later on. Okay? So the affirmation is going to say, thankful hearts, radiant lives, and divine flow. Would you please say it with me? Thankful hearts, radiant lives, divine flow. Okay, would you please stand if you're comfortable to do our welcome song today?
My mind is open to changing the world. Let it begin, let change begin with me. My heart embraces a world wrapped in peace. Let it begin, let peace begin with me. An agent of change, a sweet dove of peace. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am an agent of change, a sweet dove of peace. I am love. Unfolding my eyes envision a world of love. Let it begin. Let love begin with me. We move together toward all that is just. Let it begin, let justice begin with us. We are agents of change, sweet doves of peace. We are love. We are love. We are love. We are love. We are agents of change, sweet doves of peace. We are love. Unfolding. We are love unfolding.
All right, it is time for our Namaste greeting. Let us begin by releasing this room full of energetic children downstairs. Crystal Orley, our parent, is leading the class, and we have Tegan assisting her today. So let's send our children out with love. Oh, and Tegan, I don't think I have enough punch little juice bar bags now. Got 800 children today. Indeed, indeed. And so, indeed, so please get more juice boxes down there. All right, what a beautiful day. Right, last week it was all gray and ugly, and we said, what a beautiful day. So today we have the sun out. What a beautiful day. Hoosiers, IU football team, 11-0. What a beautiful day. And then I think the Colts are 9-2. Is that accurate?
Something like that.
All right. And then y'all, what'd you say, Dan?
Close.
Close enough. And then y'all pray for the Pacers, okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, but we have so much to celebrate. This beautiful woman here bringing the message today, talking about gratitude. What a blessed people we are. So today, when we greet each other with our namaste greeting, I see the God in you, I see the Christ in you. Before you turn towards them, think about what you're grateful for in that person. I love Leanne because she's very quiet, but she talks to me and she'll tell me stuff. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for her love for this community. And so today, when you look at someone, you may say, I'm a visitor, I don't know these people, they're all good. And so when you greet them, express your gratitude for the God within them. And so namaste, namaste, and you're free to move about the cabin. I invite you to continue as we are in this space of celebration, of oneness, of love unfolding, of our minds stayed on spirit. Let's take a moment to continue and step into this sacred space of prayer, into the energy of knowing, of allowing, understanding that we're not asking God to do something, for it's already been done. It's for us to have the consciousness, the eyes, the ears, the open arms to receive it. And so as we step into this space, let's take a breath in and out. We begin this sacred morning in the spirit of gratitude. Gratitude for breath, gratitude for life, and for the indwelling presence that guides, strengthens, and sustains us. We give thanks for the gift of waking up to this new day, a new moment, and new possibilities. We are grateful for this beloved, spiritual, sacred, love-filled, noisy, precious place, Unity of Bloomington, a place where we come and we remember who we truly are. We are one. Grateful for the love that holds us together, the laughter that lifts us, the wisdom that grows us, and the community that walks beside us. Today, we open our hearts to the power of gratitude as a spiritual practice. Gratitude that softens what feels heavy. Gratitude that brings healing to places still tender. Gratitude that reminds us that even in uncertain times, there is goodness, there is beauty, and there is an endless well of divine support within us. We hold in prayer all who are grieving, healing, or navigating change. May peace rise within them, clarity guide them, and love continue to surround them. We lift our leaders, local, state, and federal. We affirm that wisdom arises in their awareness, compassion deepens their choices, and integrity expands in their governance. May they remember that their power is responsibility, and their decisions ripple and affect the lives of people everywhere. And as we step into this day, we choose to live from grateful hearts, knowing that gratitude expands what is good, deepens our peace, and aligns us with the flow of divine abundance. Gratitude, peace, all is well, and so it is.
Okay, our next song is something that's new to most of us. You may have heard it, but we've not sung it as a congregation. And the chorus is a little different in that it has a rest or a space at the beginning of each phrase. So here's what the chorus sounds like, and then we'll sing it together and go on. It's verse, chorus, okay, so here it goes. So it's, have the attitude, be the attitude, have the attitude, be the attitude, have the attitude, be the beginning. I used to do an at the beginning. When I taught middle school, there always was somebody who did it in the concert. So there's always a smart aleck. Here we go. Have the attitude. 2, ready, and.
Have the attitude, be the attitude. Have the attitude, be the attitude. Have the attitude, be the attitude of Christ. Have His mind in you. God will see you through. Troubles can be changed. God will rearrange. Have the attitude, be the attitude. Have the attitude, be the attitude. Have the attitude, be the attitude of Christ. When I let God guide, God's love will provide. See God's greater good right where you have stood. Have the attitude, be the attitude. Have the attitude, be the attitude. Have the attitude, be the attitude of Christ. Have the attitude, be the attitude of Christ.
Awesome. I didn't hear a single one.
There we go.
Today's inspirational reading is a poem by Elizabeth Barrett Browning, How Do I Love Thee? Sonnet 43. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach, when feeling out of sight for the ends of being and ideal grace. I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need, by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely, as men strive for right. I love thee purely, as they turn from praise. And I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with the love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death.
Today I start with gratitude. 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 Grateful, 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 grateful. Today I start with gratitude. Today I start with gratitude. Today I start with gratitude. Today I start with gratitude.
Good morning. I'm so grateful that Reverend Manasseh has invited me to speak today. My name's Reverend Karen Williams, in case I haven't met you before, and Emily's, stepping out in great love. Thank you for your service. Our beautiful music team, always stepping out in service to love, and I'm very grateful for that. You know, we're people who love stories. Songs are stories, poems are stories, we tell funny jokes, those are stories. When you come to our house, the Williams Wonderly home, you're gonna eat food and we'll probably gather around and we're gonna share stories. I'm sure you do the same. But every now and then a story that you hear will have an impact on you, and I mean really a deep impact, even though it may sound like a very simple story. This has happened to me this year. I heard a story, and it was about an older gentleman, mid-80s, who was married to his wife for well over 6 decades. And she was in a facility because of Alzheimer's. Part of why I think this story impacted me is my father passed away 6 years ago, but he went through every stage of Alzheimer's. Do we have the stories to tell? Some funny now, not so funny at the time. But he would go into the facility every day. He would identify who he was, and he would say, "I'm so glad to see you. You are my wife, and we've been married for a very long time." And then he'd get in bed with her, put his arm around her, and begin to share all the stories or the memories of a lifetime together. He would tell about interesting places they had gone together, restaurants that were memorable that they went together, funny things that would happen. He brought a lifetime of memory, even though it was a very difficult time. Now, he didn't deny the fact that his wife had Alzheimer's. She was, in fact, in a facility because he knew her care was greater than what he could provide. But he had such love. It's like the poem, "How can I count the ways?" I'm bringing a lifetime of love and experience, and he was bringing a discipline. The discipline was he's going to show up, and he's going to choose a great appreciation and a respect for his longtime wife, even though stuff got really messy in that life. That love, that discipline, my guess, didn't happen when he was in his mid-80s. It probably started long before that. And isn't that what happens when you think about things that you love, whether it's music, whether it's playing an instrument in that music, or whether it's a skill or an art. The thing that naturally arises with love is discipline. And he would bring that discipline of looking at his life, appreciating a woman that he has spent the majority of his life with, and he was grateful. He brought the discipline of gratitude. And that's what I want to talk to you about. The discipline of gratitude. The title of this is Genuine Gratitude is a Game Changer. Genuine gratitude. Now, does that suggest that maybe there's gratitude that's not genuine? Yes. Is there bogus gratitude in the world? Let me share a story that maybe you experienced it as well. The last time I saw what I would call bogus gratitude. And it was actually in the Oval Office, a little video clip I was watching on my phone. President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance had the President of Ukraine in his office, the Oval Office. And they berated him, saying, "You just aren't grateful for the aid the United States has given to you." In that moment when I watched that clip, I actually felt ashamed that this man that was a world leader with his country in war. And we, as Americans, represented in that office, was berating this man. But before I get too righteous, and before I get too judgy, I've disciplined myself to do a daily devotion with A Course in Miracles. And one of the teachings in the Course in Miracles is any outward experience that you are seeing is because of an inward condition. We're going to talk about that actually at the workshop today in Course in Miracles. Well, that tells me then, and I've disciplined myself to say, oh, I felt this shame. Have I ever had bogus gratitude or toxic gratitude? Have I ever done that in my life? And sadly, I had to say yes. I would not have seen that or felt that if there wasn't a little bit of that consciousness within us. And what I realized is earlier this year that Wendy stepped up, my spouse, to lead a group called Rainbow Birds. She's not with me today because she actually is in Indianapolis. And a rare occasion, as I committed to be here, she committed to be big-time birding with a group of friends. But as she takes the lead in that, the first big-time birding event was at Indiana Dunes. It involved 3 days and 2 nights. And she asked me if I would be like the social person to make sure we had the snacks, that we had the drinks, that the meals were all worked out. And of course I said yes. Well, by the time we got home on a Sunday evening from that big-time birding event, we were both pretty tired. But we also had things to clean up after travel and things to do in the house. But we both are very grateful that we had Monday without any commitments. And of course, I looked at Monday saying, now what projects in the house have I not done that I want to get done? She wakes up thinking Monday, oh, I need to do that birding report for all the participants that were involved. And I said to Wendy, I said, would you help me with this small project? And she said, I got to get that report done. Now what I thought, I didn't say it. I've disciplined myself not to say it always out loud. But what I thought at that point was, after everything I've done for you all weekend long, and you can't help me with this one small project. I was using toxic gratitude. I was making it manipulative and trying to make one feel shamed because I wanted to be transactional. And then I just walked away. But I've disciplined myself. How do I feel? Oh, that's what I feel. And I was a little irritated too. But then very shortly, and I mean a very short time, Wendy comes in and she says, because it's probably she could tell what I was thinking. That's what happens after you live together for a while. And she said, you know, after all that you've done all weekend, I certainly want to help you with that small project. And then, of course, I said, the little dance that happens, well, I know you really want to get that report done. That's fine. We can just do it later. She said, no, I insist. And then, of course, then you say, absolutely. Genuine gratitude. We count our blessings since I was a little girl in Sunday school, and we sing it here to this day. Count your blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord hath done. Count your blessings. You know, the sages talk about heaven connects to the earth by rain. But how does the earth connect to heaven? And when I'm talking about count your blessings, it's like rain coming down. It's pouring on us. And that's how the divine is connecting with us. That's why we get into the discipline of counting your blessings. But how do we connect back to the divine? And it's actually in science. And I think Seb's got one slide for my talk here, and it's right there. And that is that condemnation, or the clouds, have moisture, and it's going to rain. And it's going to rain, and what happens when it rains? It collects. Now, we have a gravel driveway. We have a circular one, and then we have a straight one. And at the edge of the circular one, after a rain, there's a little bit of puddling, because that's what happens with rain. And then the delivery trucks will hit it and then make it a kind of a muddy spot if it stays moist or wet for a period of time. And I always think, when I see that, oh, I need to go and change the elevation a little bit on it, raise it up, and put some gravel on that spot. It's been on my to-do list now for 4 years. Why is it taking me so long to do it? Because after the rain, pretty soon what happens? That puddle evaporates. It changes form. It's no longer a liquid. It's now a vapor, moisture. And it's actually changing form to go back to do what? To seed the clouds for the cycle to continue. So, how does earth connect to heaven? It's evaporation. But what do you need for evaporation to happen? And this is what the sages, or the wise ones, the spiritual teachers will tell you. You need the sun. You need heat. That's why bridges, after snow, the bridges are the last thing to melt on a snowy highway. Why is that? Well, because the gravel is providing, the concrete's providing heat. But bridges mean there's nothing underneath it. There's no heat. So that's why it's so slippery and icy. And you see the signs. You need heat. Why is it that there are some, like in the Psalms, that says, "My cup runneth over"? Meaning, I'm noting all these blessings. All this rain is coming down. My cup overfloweth. And then there's others that Reverend Manasseh reminded us a couple weeks ago. This is it. This is their cup. The little thimble. Why is it that some can stand in the same rain and feel like their cup is overflowing, and others barely grabbed a little bit of that drip of water? And it's because the pool's there, the water's there. The water's going to come down, it's going to pool into usually a lake or some form. But there are people that are standing in that pool of water, and their heart is just so grateful. Count my blessings. Name them one by one. Count the many ways to which I love thee. And they see it. And that's the difference. Some will see it, and others won't. That's what we call frequency, their frequency. Now, I use that in a very simple term, not like some of the New Age thoughts, and many of you here probably could really school me on what frequency means. Let me tell you how I think about it. Frequency is, what do I frequently see? That's my frequency. What do I frequently see? And there are those who will say, and I've done it myself, well, I'll believe that when I see it. But you know that that's actually not so true. The reality is that we actually don't so much say, well, when I see it, I'll believe it. What we actually are seeing is what we believe. And there are those that have a frequency to believe that the divine is pouring down. They're opening and cultivating gratitude, the intentional attempt to cultivate appreciation in one's life and to see it. And they feel like their cup's running over. There are others that are in that pool of water, and they're splashing that pool of water around, and all of a sudden it's hitting the wall and it's coming back at them. And they're like, well, why is the world after me? It's the gratitude. They're not seeing it. And why are they not seeing it? It's because unfortunately, our society sets us up to self-sabotage ourselves. And that is that we don't believe we're deserving. Or we have a belief that I have to work hard to have the blessings flow. Who told you that? Oh, yeah, parents, teachers, leaders. But is that really true? Don't you feel like there's some people that have tremendous blessings and they're not doing a squat? That might be your boss, and you're doing all the work. But you see, there's a sense within us sometimes that we just aren't deserving or that we're unworthy. So the frequency is not to count those blessings. Instead, they're in that pool, and what they're saying is, I hate this. Please, God, change it. What's not there? There's the evaporation, the gratitude that it takes to have the connection back to the divine. It's these times when someone says, oh, I know it's not a very good relationship, and it actually really kind of doesn't work for me, but thank God I'm not single. One who looks and sees for gratitude is, I see I'm worthy, I'm deserving. I do not need anybody's permission to have the best life that I can have. I'm going to give myself that permission. And there are some who will actually say, I hate this job, I don't like it, but thank God I got a paycheck and I got a job. Yeah, not much heat in that though. The better heat would be, this isn't actually what I want to do the rest of my life, but I'm going to make the best of it because I know just around the corner, the rain's going to pour on me. And I'm going to start to count my blessings. I'm going to start naming them one by one. And why do we do that? Because if you are in a position of not feeling like the universe is blessing you, that is God's favor that you have done nothing for, nor need to, but that the universe is just blessing you, you have a sense of this gratitude for everything around you, that you begin to note them. I think we talked about a gratitude journal. It's a wonderful thing because it can change your way of thinking. To see, wow, look at all these things. But you know what's even better than that? That's the beginning stages. Gratitude, the next step up is when someone thanks you, when somebody recognizes you, that you take that time and you really feel it. Too many people will say, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, darn shucks. Yeah, that's nice. You thank me. No, I'm not. I'm saying part of actually understanding gratitude is receiving it. When someone says something nice about you, feel it. Really feel it. Incorporate that in your life. And then say, I am as God created me. Yes, I am a holy child of God, and I have received this blessing. And what happens then, because it always comes as a next step, is generosity. That we receive, and in true gratitude, you give. So when it's said to you that you've got some award or you've done some accomplishment, recognize your hard work. That's great. Thank yourself for that. But I'm talking about have it last. Feel it, really take it in and understand what's going on. And then start looking around you and give that same appreciation when you notice someone, because you might be the one that keeps this generosity flowing. Just take a moment now and just take a deep breath in as we move into meditation. You know, a baby actually breathes from its belly. And we forget that. But healthy breathing is actually breathing from your belly. If you can, breathe in, but stick your stomach out. You'll see it may feel funny, but take a deep breath. I want us to count the many ways within us that we have received love. Just name them. The poet said, "How do I love thee?" Most people think that she wrote that for her husband, Robert Browning, also a poet. But it also is the same poem that you could write to the divine. How do I love thee? Oh, in my childhood, maybe I lost a little bit of faith. But now that I have the eyes to see and the frequency to see the many blessings flowing down, let me count the ways. And then I want you to think of a time when someone thanked you and it really meant something. Yeah, maybe you worked really hard and you got that award. The working was just the transaction, right? I mean, you agreed to a certain wage and your job paid you that wage. If you didn't get that wage, you would think that was injustice. That's fairness. But what I'm talking about is when somebody, though, in that environment says, not only have you done justice, you've gone far and above and have taken all of us somewhere beyond. And that we want to recognize and appreciate. Take that moment in. Or maybe a parent or someone that really just loved you no matter who you were and what you were. Let's just rest in that silence for a moment. And so it is.
Okay, may I have the greeters come up, please? So we're about to take our offering now, which is one way that you can physically give some gratitude to this place and to its works. Any and all offerings are truly appreciated. This is also the time, visitors, for you to put those blue forms or those pink prayer requests inside these bags. If you wish to put cash in the bag, you're welcome. Checks may also be put in, made out to Unity, or there is a PayPal QR code if you are a never carry cash person, or if you're online and you'd like to give something as well. If today is not the day where you can give something, give your blessing as well. Just hold your hand over the bag. Send some of that gratitude in to help these blessings to multiply. Thank you, greeters. you're comfortable, would you stand and say this affirmation and blessing with me? It is on the screen. Oh, that's different than mine. Divine love, abundant, flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. To walk the walk and not just talk the talk, we're going to add a closing gratitude to our service today. We want to thank all of you for participating in the service today, whether that is here physically or here with your hearts and minds. You matter. I personally look forward to coming here just for the smiles and the hugs, but also to be seen, to give service, and to start my week easily, as opposed to 25 screaming 7-year-olds for my job as an elementary school teacher. So I am grateful for you and your gentleness and your open hearts. And we as a congregation are thankful for you to be here and for you to be online as well. All right, we're going to say our prayer for protection, and then we'd like to circle up for our song. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please circle up. Thank you.